Hello there, everybody. Welcome to another edition of this, what's this thing called? Hold on. Oh, AEW Dynamite. I think that's what this program called is. AEW Dynamite. Dynamite. That's right. The AEW Dynamite show. This show was off the chain. I could not believe the show was off the chain. We was eating a chicken box and watching the show at the same time. What an experience this was. Woo! So yeah, it was cool. That was a cool show. Um Started off with Inner Circle versus the Best Friends with Jurassic Express. Jurassic Express. This boy, Orange Cassidy, had his hands in his pocket the whole match, and he had the shades on the whole match as well. I was like, "What is this? You cannot have your hands in your pocket the whole match. You're a wrestler. Take your hands out of the pocket." Yeah, that's what he did. He had his hands. He had his hands in his pocket. Take your hands out your pocket. You wrestling. You ain't supposed to have your hands in your pocket. He had his hands in his pocket like the whole match, and just was making everybody laugh. By the way, Taz and JR had me laughing the whole show. Oh my goodness. It's like they just know to just make somebody day or night just even better. That's what they did. It was just good. Like it was really good. I mean, I always appreciate that commentary in the matches because that's another thing that make matches good. Is like good commentary. They could just be talking about anything and just make it funny. But this match was all over the place, boy. And that wrestler Marco Stunt, he is so funny. He's like a little short wrestler. I think he's like under 4'5". He's like really short though. But he got on Luchasaurus, who was like a tall wrestler, and he got on his shoulders and jumped on the inner circle, and he was doing yeah, yeah, yeah. I'm like, what the? I'm like, what is he doing? And Jr. was like, Jr. was like, Marco Stunt is like a male chihuahua. He all over the place. I said, man, Jr. be coming up with some of the most funniest things. He really do. Um, it was funny though. Sammy was in trouble. So the Best Friends in Jurassic Express, they was all beating him up. And then they had, and I think for a while they had Trent just, they was beating the mess out. They was beating the mess out of Trent from Best Friends. Had him in this corner. I was like, golly, this was like a 25. Felt like it was a 10-minute beating, boy. But he fought out of it and stuff, and he tagged in uh his uh his partner Chuck and Trent. Chuck and Trent. Yep. But yeah, he tagged his partner, and they was getting him back at first, but then Orange Cassidy, he came in there. I'm telling y'all gotta look at this wrestler, Orange Cassidy. He comes out so cool, but when he start wrestling, his wrestling moves is great. He did a Superman punch. He did that to Jack Hager, and that punch was effective. Hager got out the ring and was just on the ground for like, felt like it was 2 minutes though. Like that was just it. But then the turning point of the match, and this was funny. I was like, I wonder where Matt Hardy at. Out of nowhere, Jim Ross was like, wait a minute. Is that Matt Hardy? And I was like, what? I was like, oh shoot, that is Matt Hardy. So Matt Hardy, he he threw Sammy, who was on the top rope. He was about to hit Luchasaurus, so he fell off the top rope, and then Luchasaurus hit him with this big roundhouse kick. I was like, damn. And this Luchasaurus is a big guy. big guy. And he's very athletic. He be doing all these kicks. He should be a champion. But he wound up winning the match though. And it was a really good match. Really good way to start off a show too. Like what was it like a tag team match for yeah, like a 5-on-5 tag team match. It was good though. Really was. Um Next we had Cody Rhodes, Cody the American Nightmare versus Warhorse, and he's been in the independent scene for quite some time. So I was like, okay, this should be interesting. But in the back of my mind, I was like, I knew Cody was going to win. Just like last week, I was just like, yeah, he's going to win. So it was a good match, though. One of the turning points of the match was when Warhorse, he did a double stomp on Cody's back, and I was like, yeah, that Jr. was like, yeah, you could get back spasm like that. I was like, yeah, shoot, someone just walk like walking on your back, and they like he could have cracked his jaw and all. Like if he wouldn't have landed right, so that's why they say don't try this at home. Like I ain't trying this at home. But then he brought Cody in the ring. He did this big like Macho Man elbow drop. I was like, okay, got a 2 count. Then he had two more near falls. I was like, come on. But then of course, this is the little trend I was noticing. Um, when Cody was facing one of the members from Private Party, I know at the time they had like it was like they had like a leg injury, so Cody was working on that the whole match to win. So then out of nowhere, I was just like, "Dag, Warhorse!" Like his leg started hurt. I was like, "Oh my god!" So you know what that means? Cody started working on the leg, and out of out of nowhere, he did that figure 4 leg lock, and Warhouse tapped out. I was like, oh my god, like this match could have been so much better if Warhorse didn't have if he didn't have a leg injury. I was like that. But then out of nowhere, I was like, wait a minute, is this Zack Ryder? Because JR, I know they was saying like a different name, but I was like, that's Zack Ryder. Like if y'all gotta look at Zack Ryder. Like he had some good matches. Now he just for a big. I'm like, man, these wrestlers they be gone for a while, come back, you don't know who they are. Man, Zack Ryder like could be a bouncer at some club or something, man. I was like, wow. So I was just thinking like, what if Zack Ryder eventually gonna face Cody for that title? I said that would be something. That would be something. So that's what I was thinking. Like, come on, Zack. You could be his friend for a while, then you could turn on him and get that belt. That's what I'm thinking. Let's go, Zack Ryder. Let's go. So next we had another segment. FTR was in the back, and they had that signing contract with Tony, and then what was it? Arn Anderson came back there, and everybody was sitting down. So they officially signed their contract to AEW, and out of nowhere, Hangman Page came in there and gave them some beers, and they was drinking it. And FTR was like, they was drinking. They was like, man, this. He was like, man, this some cheap stuff, right? It's like some cheap stuff. I was like, yeah, I guess they know their beer. And Hangman Page was trying to drink it. He was like, yeah, this is kind of bad. So I was like, yo, they is funny. Then next we had another little segment. The lead ball Inner Circle came out and they was talking about Orange Cassidy and everything, and Jericho still mad about his jacket. His jacket still got all that orange stuff on. I was like, why don't he just get another jacket? Like he was like, this seven. I'm like, that jacket cost 7,000. Like, golly, man, that. That is crazy. But so what comes out, Lee Champion Jericho is going to have a debate with Orange Cassidy next week because he said he's going to beat him again in 2 weeks, and he's going to beat him next week in a debate. So he said he can out debate him, he can out wrestle him. That first match they had was really good. I really thought Orange Cassidy was going to win, but you know Jericho always finds that way to win. So after they announced all that, everybody was leaving, and then Santana Ortiz was being funny. Jericho was like, "Does my jacket still stink?" And I think Santana was like, "Yeah, yeah, it does." And Hager was like, "Why would you say that?" And Jericho was like, "Ah!" I was like, "Yo, that is so funny." Oh my god. I was like, I could not believe that. Could not believe that. Um then we had Dark Order versus Hangman Page and Kenny Omega for the tag team titles. At first, you know, they always have like problems when they start wrestling, but when as the match continues, they get better. So at first, Dark Order had a lot of near falls. Um, Looked like they was hitting some big right hands to Kenny. They was throwing him on a steel pole and everything. But Hangman Page and Kenny Omega, they are a great tag team. They said they've been tag team champions for 190 days. It shows because no matter who they face, they they keep going. And I will always remember their match with the Young Bucks. I think it was AEW Revelation. Like they had an amazing match with them. Young Bucks was they took them to the limit, boy. And there was so many near falls back and forth. I was like, I can't keep up with this. But this match was good. But Hangman Page and Omega, they just turned it around. You know, Omega, he just got this little crazy look in his eyes, start doing them running knee strikes, dragon suplexes. And once they did their little double team move, at that turned the whole match around. And Dark Order, they was one point of the match, they was biting Hangman Page finger. I was like, God damn. What's up with all this biting? And I was like, oh my god, they are like crazy wrestlers. But at the end, Hangman Page and Omega, they retained their belts. They did their it was like a double knee and a suplex move for the victory, and it was I was like, the knee to the back of the head is a devastating move. It could just knock you out in one blow. Um, but yeah, it was a pretty good match. Then after the match, Dark Order, Brody Lee came out there and was like, "Oh, we are everywhere." And Hangman Page was laughing. He was like, "Oh, you think that's funny?" Oh, he was like, "Yeah, yeah." I was laughing too. He was like, "Well, we multiply." And then all of a sudden, saw all these people with these masks going all around the ring. I was like, "Damn." Then they all came in there. Then I saw FTR was running down there with a. They ran down there with a beer case and just hit somebody. I was like, "Yo, where they be getting all this stuff from?" But I was like, "Yo, it's so funny though. It's so funny." But I really like that. I mean, all the tag teams on here is amazing. This whole show is amazing. Then we had another cool segment with one of my favorite wrestlers up on there, Britt Baker. She was talking about Big Swole, and she was saying if Big Swole want to face her, she has to face an opponent of her choosing. So I'm just thinking like, dang, I wonder who she gonna pick. So I guess we're gonna have to wait to find out. I was like, it's good to see her, still in that wheelchair, being a role model, like she said. So next we had Sheeta versus Dear Mate, I think. DMA, I think that's her. I keep getting her name wrong. But DMA, I know I'm probably saying her name wrong. She was in the or it might be Dynamite, I think. One of those names. But she was in the independent scene, she said, for 10 years. Um, and she was like, she's ready for new opportunities. So she come to AEW, face the women's champion. She's a great wrestler, by the way. I think she's a great wrestler. It would be nice if she become women's champion as well. Um, this was a good match, though. It really was. They was both trading right hands and being physical. Um, but she is just vicious with them knee strikes, boy. Now her knee strikes is kind of like Kenny Omega. Like she hit that one knee to the back of the head, and that was just it. She she took her opponent out. She got the victory. But like I said, it was a good match. The match kind of did went a little quick because I guess they was getting ready for the main event, which was good as well too. So we had the main event of Darby Allin and John Moxley. I like them two wrestlers. They really cool. Versus Brian Cage and Ricky Starks. Um, as always, Taz was just like Moxley go and get it, and they was backstage talking and all like that. So when they came out, so when Brian Cage and Ricky Starks came out, Darby Allin flew from like the Titran and just landed on. I was like, whoa, here we go. So they was just fighting all over the place. Moxley was hitting chops to Brian Cage. Ricky Starks, I think he speared Darby about like 5 times in the match. I'm like, goodness gracious. But they was double teaming Moxley. I was like, here we go. And then Moxley brought a chair in there, hit Brian Cage. I was like that. But then Brian Cage did this super kick on Mox. I was like, everybody is doing these super kicks. It was crazy. But the turning point of the match was when Darby Allin got his skateboard from under the ring. And JR was like, wait a minute. Is that thumbtacks on the back of it? And at first I was like, no. But then when he got on that top rope and he had his feet on the other side of the skateboard, it hit the back of Ricky Stark's back. And his whole back was just bleeding like crazy. I was just like, wow, man, this is crazy. So Darby Allin picked up the victory. And I was like, wow, like yo, this is just crazy. It was a good match, but Taz was like, wait a minute. What is this? What is this? Like, you can't be doing that. And then JR was like, well, it was a tornado match. Anything goes. He was like, yeah, I know anything goes, but you can't put no thumbtacks on, on those things. I was like, oh my God. When they start going off like that, that'd be so funny. But yeah, that it was a really good show. I get this show an A plus 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 plus. A plus 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 plus. Come on, baby. A plus plus plus. All the voices think is A plus plus. But yes, that is my review. Excuse me. And yes, I really enjoyed this show. And I really hope one day we could get Darby versus Cody for that TNT title. And Darby could get it back. I really hope so, cause he he proves there's no fear in him. He jumping from the Titran, he'll jump from a ladder, and I was like, every time I see Darby Allin, I think about Jeff Hardy because they both is just so crazy. Well, I don't want to say crazy, but they like fearless. Like they'll do anything, and I mean anything. But I saw Darby was talking to Tony Hawk. It was a couple of videos a couple of weeks ago on Dynamite, and I was like, man, he was jumping off ladders and fires, and I was just like, this is crazy. But I like to see Darby Allin versus yes, versus Cody. Oh, damn, I think I forgot one thing. And I think it was the segment with MJF. So basically he was just saying he wanna face John Moxley for the title. And I was like, yeah, I mean that would be good. I know a lot of people don't like MJF, but he's funny, he's crazy. I know the fans be booing him, but I was like, and I was like, well, he said he's gonna be here for the next 25 years, so eventually he'll probably get the title, and of course he'll probably cheat to win. But I think he can have a good reign of as being champion. So he's calling out Moxley. So I guess in that next pay per view, All Out, he's gonna be facing Moxley. So he's gonna have Warlord in his corner. So that could be an advantage. But it should be a good match. But thanks everybody for watching my. No, it's a long, extended review, but it was just so good though. It really was. Hope y'all enjoyed this review and like, comment, share with all of your friends about this review. I really enjoyed it though. A plus 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 plus. Woo! Woo! Come on, let's hear that old lady real quick. Make sure you subscribe to this channel. I should have had it at the bottom. Subscribe to this channel. Woo!